On this week's podcast, we discover how confusing Renault's naming system is.
Hybrid or?
No, just electric.
So where does the turbo come play?
Dan has a newfound hatred for French cars.
Bag of shite.
And we have a heated debate about forced induction.
I hate turbochargers. 100% superchargers are really.
Dumb take.
What have you done with Dan, and can I have him back,
What you
please?
say? Oh, you haven't?
Hello and welcome to another episode of the CrossedThreads podcast, the podcast where two mates
With very different levels of automotive knowledge.
wax lyrical about cars amongst other random things. Now, this week, as usual, we're going to start off with a little bit of an overview of both of our weeks to do with cars amongst everything else, really. I'm going to start because I've had a very boring week, really. Lots of stuff going on at uni again, kind of the same as last week. The only new thing I've got going on really is that I can't get it out of my head that I just really want a new car. And that's going to make Dan very angry for two reasons, probably. Number one is that I change cars probably, I don't know, once every couple of months, I would say on average. That's a bit of an exaggeration.
Yeah.
He's just pulled up a really, really interesting image on his computer. We're gonna anyway, I can't get it out of my head. I want a new car. Now, I've had this BMW that we're sat in, by the way, upgrade on the studio today. We're in the luxurious business estate, mega luxury, cream leather seats. Leather seats. And we've got something that I found out just now is that there's a little cup holder in the end of this centre armrest, which I never knew about. So that's pretty cool.
Some would say it erects out of the seat.
Some would say that. Anyway, I can't get out of my head that I want a new car. The new car being a Mark V Golf GTI. That's what I want.
I want a Mark V Golf GTI.
I've always wanted one.
Didn't you look at one before getting this? It was a black one.
Yeah, probably. I really want one. And I have done for a good while. I don't know. When I was learning to drive, I really, really wanted a Mark V GTI. I was like, I want that as my first car. Obviously, I wasn't going to get one as my first car because that's unrealistic. Insurance prices are ridiculous in the UK. But I've always had a little bit of a soft spot for the Mark V GTI. I think it looks really nice. I think it is probably my favourite Golf generation. That's really quite a controversial thing to say when there's people out there that love the Mark IV. The Mark IV is probably the best one, but I love the Mark V. I've always had a soft spot. So, yeah, someone's just driven past in an Audi A3. You're going to see a lot of this today. We are parked in a lay-by on the side of a B road.
We've very much Waymo'd this today.
We've Waymo'd it today.
And there's is a few shotgun shots that keep going off.
So we're a little bit scared for our lives here.
Yeah, it stinks of piss, I can't lie.
But anyway, that is my week in cars, really. The fact that I can't stop thinking about a Mark V GTI. Over to you, Dan, whilst I just sort out that light because just realised it's going to drain my battery if we keep it on.
Oh, yeah. It's been alright. I've had an oil change on my car, and so has my beloved girlfriend, which needed a change in a 2003 Clio.
What
and
a car.
I've come to a realisation, I've had the wool pulled over my eyes. Because this guy right here, he's been saying about, because obviously limited car knowledge, he can say something, I'm going to fully agree with him. But
French cars are great.
I feel like I've just been taken advantage of a bit here. Because I had to work on a 2003 Clio. Bag of shite. It was so hard to work on. Like, it was just unnecessarily hard to work on. I had to change a light bulb, which I couldn't do because I have big
Bearing in mind,
hands.
can I just jump in here? I turned up when this bloke had been trying to put this bulb in for how many minutes?
I mean, it was like 5-10 minutes.
I turned up, grabbed the bulb, put it in, 10 seconds, done.
But can we...
And then did the second one in the same amount of time.
But can we just put your hand up to the camera? Now, baby hands.
They're not that small.
Big manly hands.
Actually, yeah, they are quite small. Yeah.
So if you have a high dosage of estrogen in your body, a French car will be great for you. You can fix it nicely, and you can also fit in it. However, manliness-wise, it just...
Oh my god!
What happened, Swy?
X3M company. Oh my god!
Fucking
Bro
hell.
is sending it. What the hell?
Waymo do not get this.
Waymo don't get this type of thing.
I need to be on
And
it.
a bike as well. What the hell? Carry on with your French car rant. Anyway.
As I was saying, it was just unnecessarily hard. Like, it's just some weird spot. Like, the fucking oil filter is like right next to the oil sump. So
that's a good design, though.
no, because I'm like this.
That's a good design.
You want it in like a place open so you can just go, whoop, but no, it's like here and you have to go. And it's a fucking weirdly square bolt to get out the sump plug.
It's
a weird 8mm bolt.
It's a weird 8mm like square.
Just no
socket.
need for it. Anyway, that was my thoughts on French cars. Apart from that, I still need to do an oil change on my car, and that's about it.
My
Anyway.
service light came on recently as well.
Did it?
So maybe we'll do a joint oil check. Maybe we'll have a race. See who can change their oil the quickest on my driveway. I reckon that's a good idea. I'm going to win.
Well,
I've never worked on this car actually.
no,
So.
I've never worked on my Passat. We did Will's Passat, and that was
that was interesting.
that was very interesting.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. McGettrick out there if you're watching, mate.
That's a common theme.
Hell. Anyway, talking of French cars, I absolutely love the quirky design.
Sorry,
What is Bro doing?
I had something in my.
I love the quirky design. Dan absolutely hates them, as he's just said.
I wouldn't say I hate the design. I just think your point the other day was if you hate French cars, get better at fixing cars.
It's
and
so
I think,
true, though.
No,
You are case in point for that exact.
but my dad.
He even said, he was like, oh, it's these bloody French cars. I was like, mate, I've just walked in and done it, mate. What are you on about?
But as I said again,
yeah, but
it was a hammer thing.
Okay, but let's move on anyway to something a little bit more interesting. Renault, speaking of French cars, are putting out some absolutely insane cars at the moment. By that I mean, I can name a few. The Renault 5 is brilliant. We can both agree.
Yeah.
Small electric little recreation. The Rafale, I don't know if that's how you say it. That thing is beautiful. We've also got the new shape Clio as well. Now, at the F1 season launch in London, Renault CEO Luca De Meo, I'm reading this from my screen because I can't remember his name, he said that although the Renault Sport brand has temporarily been put on ice to focus on Alpine, it doesn't mean there isn't a chance for the Renault Sport badge to return in the future. Now, what do you think of that? The Renault Sport obviously is quite close to my heart, but you don't really care about that, do you?
I quite like a Renault Sport. I mean, most of the sporty cars that Renault come out with, I very much like, especially the. Do you know the Clio generation after yours, the turbo?
Yeah,
Is it a 1.6 turbo?
I think you're right. Yeah, I think it's.
They are.
It's automatic, only though.
They only do automatic.
Yeah, they don't do that in manual.
Next, I retract any statement I just said. They would have been great cars in a manual, but they're not, which I've just found out. But they are lovely looking cars, especially and the generation, your generation, the 1.8, it wouldn't be a 1.82, would it?
It was an RS200. It just had 197 horsepower. I don't know why they called it the RS200 when it didn't technically have that power.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I think that they're cool. You liked that car.
Yeah.
But that brings me on to, they were on about the Renault Sport badge coming back. They are releasing a Renault 5 Turbo 3E, which is meant to be like a performance version of that new Renault 5 that we've seen, a homologation kind of thing.
Not free meaning electric.
Yeah, electric.
Hybrid or?
No, just electric.
So where does the turbo come and play here?
It's a bit like Porsche using turbo and everything. It's just, it doesn't have to have a turbo. It's just used on everything anyway. It's just a thing that they say. Well, the Renault 5 Turbo though is like the iconic hot hatch, so they're just using the namesake.
True.
It's not got a turbo.
Just
Maybe
like
they'll have a turbo. That's obviously not possible.
Just got like an extra processor.
Maybe they'll just have a processor there. Yeah, a computer in the shape of a turbo. But it's supposedly meant to be 500 horsepower, front and rear motored. You don't care about electric cars, they really, do you?
It's just you throw away like around these statistics about cars, but then it's like electric. It's like, does it really mean anything?
I mean, imagine though, 500 horsepower,
it'd be
all-wheel
insane.
drive. It would be a
instant torque.
rocket. Yeah, it's quite light as well. It's quite small.
I feel like there's not many electric cars which have the like personality of just a combustion engine car.
Yeah, it's a bit
which
of a
is the issue.
contentious one, isn't it?
Like Teslas, they're 0 to 60 in what, like 2.6 seconds. Some of the quick ones, but there's no fun in it. Like it's like whee! It's like
true,
going on a roller
just put your
coaster.
foot down, it's gone, isn't it?
Like if you drive a roller coaster so many times, it's going to be boring. And the same is for electric cars. But then once you have like a old-fashioned car, you're fucking ragging through the gears, and they're fucking popping and banging. Like even like just like the little quirky things of it being broken is just a lot more enjoyable.
That's true. It's a big debate. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to pick a side because I do like the innovation of electric cars, and I do think that they are quite inventive.
Cool.
Sometimes they do look cool. That is a good point, but I think the petrol head in me just can't. No. I can't ever prefer an electric car to an internal combustion car. It just doesn't meet the same.
I'm not going to be the one of these old people that really shits and was like, "Ew, electric car."
Yeah. They're saying that though. So many old people drive around in MGs.
That is
the
true.
new electric MGs. It's like they all just went, "What's the cheapest electric car I can get?" And the MG is just there for them.
They're like the perfect like commute car. Like for commuting, you can't really beat an electric car.
Yeah,
because
true.
You have a set amount.
Oh my god!
I need to be recording these things. I'm not on this.
Yeah.
Go on.
I was going to say, moving on, kind of similar topic, EVs. Now, Ford are notorious at the moment for using old names for new cars that don't suit. That was a nice said for.
That was a very nice.
That don't suit the old car's DNA. I'm on about the Capri, the Mustang Mach-E, and the Puma as well. It's not obviously an EV, but it's a namesake of a car that was a bloody two-seater sports car, and it's now I hate Pumas, a stupid SUV. Now, Volkswagen have actually come out and they've fired a few shots at Ford here. It's a little bit of beef in the automotive world, which I was quite excited to see. They've announced that they will not reuse old names unless the car that they're naming suits the other car's DNA that it used to be called. Now, they did say, specific example with this, the Scirocco, lovely 2+2 kind of little coupe, very historical car, been made since, I think, the 70s. I might be wrong. Maybe 80s.
Oh,
little 350Z. That was nice.
Nice one, mate.
Yeah. But they've said that the Scirocco in particular could never be an SUV because it just does not match that name DNA. Now, I think that this is quite funny because they are literally they're targeting Ford. They're saying, Ford, you lot have got it wrong. We are never going to stoop to your level. What do you think of that? Do you think it's the right thing?
Well, we reviewed a Capri. Was that we reviewed? The electric one. It wasn't the most... It
wasn't an inspiring car. I think that's the main thing I can say.
This is what I'm saying about electrics. They're just not inspiring. They're not cool at all.
Yeah, so kind of Volkswagen have fired some shots at Ford.
You hear that noise?
Yeah, what?
What is good? I don't know if it's a child or
I don't know what's going on behind us. Anyway, I just found it quite funny that Volkswagen decided to kind of openly fire some shots at Ford. And I think there are other brands that have done the same thing, where they've brought back a name and it's not exactly matching the original car's DNA. Apparently, I've heard this, I read this on Autocar, I think it was, the Scirocco could return as a 70s inspired electric sports car. I think that could be quite cool.
A lot of electric companies are doing this, where they're bringing back the old cars and giving it like a futuristic sort of like retro futuristic sort of remake.
Yeah.
And it looks very... Obviously Jaguar have sort of done it. Have Hyundai done it as well?
They had that Vision N, something like that, concept car, but it did turn out to be an actual car, I think.
They had it
a really low down, like, looked a bit like a DeLorean kind of thing, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. And that
was cool.
Was that the same one they had at Cafe Machine? Am I thinking of the same thing?
I cannot remember.
There's been some other cars, and there's some people that will have been getting like vintage cars that have been like left to like rot or something, and then replacing the engine with like electrics.
I don't know how I feel about that. I quite like the idea in a way, but I don't know. It's a contentious
somewhat
one.
Cool.
It is
somewhat not.
If it's done right, it's cool.
I think making an old car look a bit futuristic they do tend to look really nice, especially if it's done in the right way. But it goes back to the point of having an electric engine.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what? Here's a topic for you. So we're talking about electrics in engines being like boring, but what about in motorsports?
I think there is an argument to be made, and if I get my environmental head on, there is a real argument to be made that motorsport kind of could benefit from being electric because there are a lot of emissions that come from
but fuck the
motorsports.
environment. Let's talk about the aspect of fun viewership in the sport of motorsport with loud V10.
They're not V10s anymore, though. They're V6s.
Yeah, but I'm just speaking about going back to like the historics of like F1 and like the golden era of F1.
Yeah.
And that sort of entertainment of just like ear-deafening cars, like
It
driving
definitely adds to the experience, but I personally would not say it's essential to the experience. I'd say that if cars are going that fast, does it matter whether they're making sound or not?
So
maybe I'm a shit petrol head for saying that, but does it really
okay,
matter that much?
I see your point of being like it's about the race, not about the sounds. But like, okay, imagine going to a football game and being completely silent. The football's still being played, but the app M3.
Oh my god, I think that was an M2.
Yeah, actually, it was an M2. You should see my face. I was like, it was an M2 though, because it's the one up with the nice looking grills.
Your point about a football game is invalid though, because do football games affect emissions?
Yeah, probably. They will eventually, because that big
VAR on that, please. Do
okay,
football games
maybe not
actually
emissions,
affect emissions
but the carbon,
for the planet?
the carbon footprint, and actually it would, because you've got coaches taking the place of the games. You've got all this. Anyway, that's just getting too intricate. But I'm on about like sound is a big part of sport and everything because the atmosphere.
It is. I get your point. I think if it were to go electric, people would be annoyed about it. But when you do look at the amount of emissions that come from motorsport, you could make a very strong argument to say that they probably should be electric. But that's probably going to rile a lot of people up in our comments. So I think we should move swiftly on to everyone's favourite segment, the Facebook Marketplace segment.
Okay,
so
you're going to have to go first because I need to find
a little
mine.
bit of a kind of a side note, I suppose. I wasn't going to mention this, but I'm going to now because I'm feeling in a little bit of a sidetrack mood. I found on Facebook, last week it was a rotisserie chicken for £5 in Wolverhampton. This week it was a full Iron Man suit with a voice-activated helmet for £850 in Birmingham. And the description read, "This item will not be for sale for very long. It's had 371 views." Ooh. That was cool, Octavia. It had 371 views, so the price is going up within a week. My man had a video of himself with the Iron Man suit on, voice activating the helmet to come down, and I saw it and I thought it was the best thing that I've probably seen in a while.
Subscribe so we can have it in the episode.
Yeah, if you guys subscribe and get us a sponsor that pays us enough to do that, I will go to Birmingham and buy that suit, and the next podcast you watch, I will be wearing an Iron Man suit when you click onto the video.
I cannot wait for that.
Anyway, on that slightly sidetracked note,
start first because I've got my car up. I had to go on the Facebook Marketplace, and it links into what we've been talking about. I don't know if you just saw it then.
Mine links into what we've been talking about as well, but not so far. It links to a topic that we're going to talk about in a minute. But I'll let you go first.
Okay, this is the car, but it's not the one, obviously, Facebook Marketplace, because we've fucked up again, like always. However, we spoke about this model of car in this episode, but this is the correct version of the car.
Okay.
And hasn't strayed away from it. But, exact colour, exact everything, I found a Ford Capri.
A Capri?
Mustang?
What is that?
That was a Mustang.
Oh my god, that was nice.
You
found a Ford Capri, a GT.
Yep.
Okay.
Similar to this. I'll take this back.
Nice.
Yeah, it was in this yellow. The interior was lovely. It had like... I need to see if there's an interior of it. Didn't your granddad use that? No, he didn't. That was another car.
Capri.
I
don't know if my family have had a Capri before. They might
It's the one you saw in Lake District and then your mum commented.
Oh no, that was a Metro. That was an MG Metro.
I'm not quite sure what this is, and I've never seen this before. There we go. Ford Capri interior. Probably take off the yellow part. Anyway.
So can I expose you by saying that this is in fact not on Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, but there's a good reason for it.
Okay, I'll hear you out, mate.
Because I don't have Facebook on this. I can't find it, but I'll flash up what it is on the screen. But it was just pretty insane. Forgot the price.
What engine?
Like I'm gonna know that.
This guy. It's probably an S6 V6. That's usually what they had.
Anyway,
A V6 motor.
I can't find it. Oh, I think they were these type of seats.
Oh, okay, like buckets.
It was just nice.
Kinda
It was
like
clean.
old buckets, yeah.
You go onto your car. I'm gonna see
That's
if I can find it
cool.
on Facebook.
That is very cool.
And it was in yellow as well, which I think is quite a nice colour.
Now, that was Dan's car. I'm here to tell you that my car is infinitely better. And it will be very relevant when we talk about the next topic that we're about to talk about. I found for £14,250 a Mini GP1. I love these cars, and I'm going to come on to that a little bit more. Goodbye, friends. See you later. I'll come on to it a little bit more in a minute. However, this Mini GP1 is mint. It is a 2006. It's £14,250. And this is a, let's not forget, limited edition run car. So there are only a certain amount of these ever made. I've driven one. It was, quite frankly, insane. And ever since I drove one, I've wanted an R53 Mini.
Oh, I've locked in.
Because, oh, you've got it.
Do you think this will be in the way of that one? I have it here.
Possibly.
Because it's been there for a while.
It'll be fine.
Go on.
So, yeah, my Mini GP1 is well, as the seller describes, in immaculate condition, meticulously maintained. I like the little
he's
little
got
use
on
of the
ChatGPT, 100%.
Wait, what do you call it when it's two things of the same letter?
Fuck's sake. Alliteration.
Is that it?
Yes.
You are so clever. Alliteration. What the Morgan Freewheeler? That's insane. Why are we getting such good car spots? We're meant to be doing a podcast, not a spotcast.
Why am I not fucking recording?
For God's sake.
You just can't tell when they're going past like this.
Back to my Mini. 90,000 miles. Mini GP1. Supercharged 1.6 engine, I believe it is.
Supercharged.
Recently serviced. Top-notch performance and reliability as described by the seller. And to be fair to him, he's got a couple of lovely, lovely pictures there. He's from a place called Thornton Cleveleys. Not a clue where that is, to be honest. But that was my pick for this week. Mini GP1.
Let me see it, because I haven't actually seen it yet.
You need to... Come on, mate. Come on. Pay attention. Lovely little GP1. Nice, huge wang.
I do
on
like
the
the
back.
wings.
Big
on
old wing, and the red door mirrors as well. I
Nice.
think it's a very lovely, lovely little car. Now, I'd say a Capri runs for about the same price as this, no? A
Yeah,
good Capri is about 14
They're
grand.
not looking cheap, and I can't find the original one that I had on here.
That was just a base model Focus. It sounded a little bit interesting.
It's not like it's breaking.
It did.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I can't really find what I was... I need to, like, save these, to be honest. I saw this as well, which is quite cool. Anyway.
Thunderbird. That is cool. Anyway, let's try and decide what we should score each car.
Do you remember the different... Okay, design.
Got 'em here. Design.
Right,
We've got them all
start
here.
with the
So
Capri, then.
the
Go on.
Capri design. What are you thinking? Design for a Capri. It's an iconic design.
It is. Let me get up the picture of one just to... Does the colour of the car come into design, or is it basically just
I
the
think
outline?
it's just the design.
It wasn't this one. I wish it was.
Jesus, 20 grand. I'll take the GP1, mate.
That's insane, though.
That is cool.
I think it could be an 8 on design.
I'm going to agree with you there. I'm
Thank
going to
you.
say an 8. Perfect. Value for money. You don't know how much yours was, do you?
I don't think it was this expensive. I'd say between 8 and 10 grand.
Okay. But the maintenance is going to be quite a lot of one of them.
Yeah. Value for money is a hard one because it's a completely different car from that to that. But I'd still say... Ooh.
Is that Defender? It was a Defender.
No, I don't think it was.
Transit Custom.
Nice.
So let's stop car spotting.
Yeah.
Come on. We need to
I would give it
value for money.
a 5.5.
I'm going to have to agree with you
it's
there.
a-
I was
it's a-
thinking around 5, so
It's
I'll go
unique. It's obviously you're not getting fucking stereo and all that, but you're getting a piece of history.
with that. Okay.
And I think money can't buy that sometimes.
Personality.
Yeah, sure. Personality. It's gotta be like 8.5.
That's a bit high for me.
You think?
Yeah.
What? Am I
They're
missing
cool,
something?
but they just don't do it for me. But maybe I'm
that's-
a little bit biased there.
That's a biased opinion.
You said 8.5.
It's
Can we make it 8?
I'll say 8. I think 8's fair.
Condition?
The
Don't
one
know.
I saw
Well,
was,
we don't know because he hasn't got it there though.
but it will be
Yeah,
here.
but we don't know.
Wow.
It's gone very quiet. There's no cars. Condition.
Condition.
I'll go off you here because I don't know what condition it's in.
Okay.
Be honest.
Going with the factor. Going with the factor of you can't see it in person. You've seen it through fingers. I would give it a 7.
We'll go with it because I don't know. Rarity. Capris aren't that rare.
I don't know. I wouldn't actually
No.
know. But I have not seen a Capri in person. I don't think.
I have.
Have you?
Mhm.
How many times
4 or 5.
in your life?
Nah, last few years.
So in your life then.
Okay.
would you-
Rarity. I'm gonna say it's above 5, but I don't think it's above 7.
I wonder what number it could be. It's
But,
not.
I'm saying
it's
it
not
could be-
below
it could be
5, but it's not
it could be
above
5,
7.
It could be 5, 6,
So
or 7. That's what I'm
6.
saying. Okay, 6. Fine. I just wanted to give some parameters because I didn't think it was that rare. Uniqueness.
It was yellow.
Fair.
Yellow.
8.
You know,
You want higher than 8? Because
I
I don't know if yours was modified or anything like that.
I'm being fair. Oh no. I'm gonna do 7.5. I'm
Okay.
gonna be fair with you.
Fair enough. Okay. Do you want to add up your total now?
We'll do it after. We'll do like a. We can
Or
like
we can do a
build up
review-
suspense.
Reveal. Okay. So mini GP1.
Mini GP1 design.
I'm going to go ahead and say that it's probably an 8 because the rear wing is very cool. Splitter kit, the inside of it's very cool too.
I'd agree with an 8. I
Okay.
think if I saw one, I'd be like, yeah, they look nice, and they do look nice.
Value for money, 14 grand.
What?
Your huh?
What's? Did it say the features of what it's got?
It's a mini GP1. It's
That's
a limited run car.
You get
And when you think
supercharged.
about this, supercharged 1.6, it's like 200 and something horsepower, if it's
And
240.
it's a light car.
It's a light car. I've driven one and it is spinning its wheels in 3rd gear. I'm not even joking. It's a very... That was slightly interesting. Mercedes estate.
It wasn't. It was a Honda.
That was a Mercedes.
No,
Don't,
it
don't,
wasn't.
don't mug me off.
I promise you that was a
Okay,
Honda.
alright, okay.
I think it was like a Civic Estate or a Prelude.
Bro said Civic estate.
Is that a thing?
No.
It looked like it.
I'm going to be mugged in
Anyway.
the comments now because they're going to go,
Use
yeah,
a fucking-
Civic estate does exist. It actually was made in 1984. Shut up.
Oh, we can look this up.
Oh, yeah, you've got Wi-Fi.
Keep talking.
Value
mate.
for money, 14 grand, limited run car. It's not going to lose any value. For me, that's good value for money. 7 or 8.
That is very true. I don't know what.
Okay, hear me out here. You've just found a Honda Estate. That's an Accord, not a Civic. And that's not what it was. It was a Mercedes estate.
wasn't a
It was an
Mercedes.
E-Class estate, I promise you.
It was not on a Mercedes.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and say value for money, 8.
I swear it was like one of these.
I just don't think it was.
Because I looked at the badge, because I was like, that's a weird car.
We're going to forever disagree on that.
But I don't think it was a Mercedes.
Fair enough. Okay, value for money, 8.
That's cool, though.
Personality, Mini GP1. Oh, we've got a car behind us, that's fun.
Personality. Is it how new was the car?
2000 and... Oh, God.
You're bad today.
Flip that. 2006.
Okay.
You were just as bad then. Oh, okay.
No, that was just my natural tone
Fair
of
enough,
voice.
yeah. All right. Yeah,
I
2006.
would give it a 7 or an 8.
Okay, I'll take a 7. I'll take a 7. Condition, 90,000 miles, meticulously maintained is what the owner said.
But 90,000 miles, obviously.
2006 car.
90,000 miles.
Asda van! Oh my god, I've not seen one of them before. Whoa. Bro's not getting that.
It's gone. It's gone. It's done. This is... I don't know how... We need another camera for this.
We need, you know, if you guys subscribe, we could get another camera, mate. We've been on the Facebook Marketplace segment for way too long.
Yeah.
Can we hurry this up?
Yeah.
Condition. I think meticulously maintained. I'm going to say an 8. Is that fair?
I'm fair with that. And uniqueness.
Rarity as well. Rarity.
Oh.
Mini GP1. How many have you seen on the roads in the last few years? I've seen a couple.
I'd say it's the same as a Caprice. I'd put it as 6.
Fair.
Uniqueness.
What is? Oh, it's a bike. I don't care.
Uniqueness. I would say 8.
8. Yeah. Okay. We need to add ours up then. Yours are the left numbers, mine are the right. So we'll both just do a bit of mental arithmetic. Talk amongst yourselves whilst we're doing that.
We're very
I won.
good game. Right, next
Good game.
one.
Anyway.
Let us know if you
Moving
thought
on.
I should have won. Let me know if Josh was right. Who knows?
I think I was
Very
right.
different cars this time.
They were kind of quite hard to compare, but we're going to now move on to a very contentious topic. This is one that we disagree on.
Well, I think it is.
I'd like viewers, if you're still watching us at this long point, consider this in your head. Which form of forced induction is the best?
Dildo up your ass. Sorry.
That's
That's a
getting
lot
cut.
of shotgun noises.
What is the best form of forced induction? Turbochargers or superchargers? I am team superchargers. 100% superchargers are elite.
Dumb take.
Dumb take? What do you mean? Okay, without reading my screen, what's the difference between how they are powered?
Oh, I actually know this. Supercharged is done through like a crank. Not a crank, but like it has a bolt, a thing connected to force air
You're
in.
actually kind of close, yeah. It's
No,
a belt.
that is close.
It's
That's a belt.
Yeah.
And then a turbocharge uses turbines to induct it in.
Yeah, exhaust gases.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exhaust spins up. And that's where anti-lag comes from. Because it pops the exhaust to run air into the turbo to keep them spinning, which is used a lot in rally to go around corners, so you get instant boost out the corners.
Since what have you done with Dan, and can I have him back, please?
I told you, some knowledge. I will know what I'm talking about, and then anything
So-
else, I just don't know.
I know for a fact that you're team turbocharger.
Yeah,
100%. 100% team turbocharger. I am supercharger, and this is why my mini GP1 was relevant, because little aside, little story time.
Little deedles.
When I little boy doidoid, when I worked at BMW all those years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I don't know what it was. I think it was 2. When I worked there, I was lucky enough to work on a mini GP1, and I was also a very lucky boy and got to go and test drive it.
Nice.
That car has left a sizable, how do I call this? A sizable little impact on my heart. A sizable mark on my personality, because I was driving that car down a country lane, doing the speed limit, just to clarify that if anyone's watching from my previous employment.
Not the speed limit.
I was putting my foot down in second gear. Now, at that point, when I put my foot down, I could hear from the front the supercharger whine, which you can't deny sounds brilliant.
Oh,
You don't like the sound of it, do you?
not really. I do a bit like when I went to Silverstone to view Japfest, they have like the cars that go around the track, and when you can hear a supercharger in like what it's meant to be doing, like driving past you, it does sound good. It makes the car sound very mean. But I'll just get on to my point after you finish, mate.
So simultaneously, I could hear supercharger in front of me, exhaust at the back, and it is the best noise that I've ever heard in my life. And I don't care what you've got to say. That sound is enough to make me decide that superchargers are better.
Okay.
On to your point.
Well, as you can tell, I am Team Supercharger.
Turbocharger.
Oh yes, super. Okay. Yeah. Just miles better. Now, okay. To preface this, I've never driven a supercharged car, and I don't know what it feels like. And it's
I've
probably
driven a few.
instant power.
It is actually. It's less efficient than a turbocharger, but it gives a boost at low RPMs.
Yeah, which is, you know what, probably has its benefits where it's needed.
Yeah.
But just being in a turbo car, you put your foot down and you have that little bit of just wait before the turbo kicks in, and you just feel it surge in and it goes. It's just great. And then you've got the whole letting off and it goes or and like Eve, you love the sound of a Subaru.
I do.
Which
I do.
is turbocharged.
And me saying that I prefer superchargers does not mean that I hate turbochargers, because I do love a turbo car. Of course I do. I've just always loved the sound of a supercharger. I just think it's elite.
I just think turbos sound a lot better.
And
I felt there's more personality in a turbocharged car.
But that linear power band, the fact that you get boost all the way from low to high RPMs with a supercharger is so... I know that they're less efficient and you can't really get as much power out of a supercharger. That's a known fact. It's just the sound. They sound so
You're
good.
saying that's better than because when you're letting off,
It's
and
hard
it's just
to say.
it's the whole thing of you're driving, you're switching gears, go and you got the it's like when you're shifting through gears and you hear it blow off. It's like a surge of just endorphins.
I guess the thing for me is that I've driven turbocharged cars, not owned one. You have.
Have you? Oh, you haven't.
Obviously, the car that I'm sat in right now is turbocharged, but
Yeah.
I mean petrol turbocharged. I've never owned one. My
Well,
Clio was not anything
that is
charged.
true.
It
Well,
was
I mean-
just naturally aspirated.
Fiesta Z-Tech was turbocharged actually,
Diesel though.
but it's turbocharged. I'm just being.
I mean, I've had turbo cars, but just not. I
Not a
haven't had
good
any
one.
petrol turbo cars.
Yeah, but you drove the S3. That was turbocharged, and you were
Yeah,
loving
that was the
S.
S4. That was
That was an S3.
an S4, my friend. We haven't reviewed an S3.
You sure?
The white one was an S4. Yeah, it was V6 twin turbo.
I don't
Or
trust.
no,
It was
twin
an
turbo? No,
S3.
single turbo.
There was no way it was an S3.
Promise S4. White one was an S4.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to trust you on it. Anyway, you drove that.
I don't know, and I'm not saying that
And
I
the
don't love them, but I just think if I was to own, if it was between a Mini GP and, I don't know, Fiesta ST or...
So you're saying if you had any car in the world and you had to decide on a forced induction thing in the car, you wouldn't choose a massive snail,
No.
I mean, of a turbo over
choose
a
a supercharger.
I mean,
I would.
each to their own, I will say.
I will say, though, turbochargers arguably are more iconic.
Definitely
in terms
more
of
iconic.
Fast and Furious, for example. You know, Paul Walker's
Oh, we've got a motorbike behind us now.
Paul Walker Supra
Yeah,
was not... is that a police motorbike?
No,
I don't
it's
know,
just-
it just looks like one.
just a guy in a
Thought we were going to get pulled over when we just sat here. Paul Walker's Supra was not going... Wee!
Yeah.
It was going... stu-du-du-du-du. So, I get that. It, you know, iconic... When we're talking about how iconic which one is, it's probably turbos that are better.
Yeah,
But
and we can leave it at that.
supercharged supremacy is all I've got to say.
Let us know what you think is better.
Yeah, please let us know down below.
Turbochargers are the better way to go than superchargers, but you know what? Each have their own little
We're
place.
moving on to my favourite and last segment of the podcast. He was flying, and it was a Corsa, instantly not cool. If you're out here watching our podcast, I'm going to look at my camera for this. If you drive
Oh,
a
what the
Corsa,
fuck?
what is everyone doing?
It's a that was a really slow overtake for the
It was
car.
a really
that they were in as
dangerous
well.
overtake. Back to my point, if you are out here watching this podcast right now, you drive one of those stupid limited edition Corsas and you've put an exhaust on it and you think you're the bollocks, please look at yourself in the mirror and go and take that back box off and put your standard exhaust back on and just consider your actions for a second.
And stop touching kids in McDonald's car parks. Leave them alone. Okay.
That's Dan
Next.
advocating for the kids. Anyway, we're going to move on swiftly to my favourite segment, Goodbye Motorbike Man, the Dan Quiz. As we've previously discussed, Mr. Co-host Dan likes his cars, but isn't as far along the car knowledge... I can't speak.
Nice one, mate.
Car knowledge spectrum as I am. As a result, I'm making it my mission to train him up by quizzing him each week on cars he should really know. I can't speak.
Lovely, mate.
Before we get into it, though, a warm-up question. Sir, are you ready for your warm-up
No.
question? Let me get the document up. No peeking.
Peeping Tom.
I would like you. This is car related, but it is more motorsport than cars.
Okay.
We were talking about it
okay.
earlier. Name me 5 of the 2025 Formula One teams.
Lando Norris.
No, teams, not drivers.
Oh, teams.
Yeah.
Mercedes.
Okay, that's 1.
Ferrari.
2.
Ferrari.
Come Come on, mate. You got
Red
this.
Bull.
Red Bull.
How many
Red-
is there?
I want 5. I want 2 more.
Is Renault still in there or no? No.
Renault aren't in it, but they're called something else.
Oh, that's my issue, mate.
2 more. You said Lando Norris. Who does he drive for?
I actually have no clue. Is Lotus not one?
What? Orange team. Papaya.
Papaya? Is that a fruit?
Come on, man. Come on.
Orange.
You got 3 so far. You've said Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari. Ferrari.
Daddy.
Ferrari. Come on, mate. 2 more. We're going to put a time limit on this.
Yeah, we're going to need it. It's been 47 minutes.
You've got 30 more seconds.
Okay, that's fair. I cannot think of any more. I'm seeing what cars go by. I'm waiting. I'm like, what car could be in there? Well, fuck it. McLaren?
McLaren, 4. 1 more.
Lotus. I'm just saying Lotus because
They were one, but no. There's a British manufacturer. We have never reviewed this type of car, though. AM?
AM. Aston Martin.
Yes!
I was trying to
He's got
think.
5. He's done
Oh.
it. He's cooking.
Well,
Okay.
cooked.
So that's
Anyway.
5 Formula 1 teams. He's done decently well on that. A few little hints,
Thank
but
you.
I'll give you that. So, on to the main event, so to speak. You must guess this car from these 3 clues.
Okay.
Clue number 1. I'm just getting my my laptop. This Japanese car, I'm giving you a hint already. Japanese car does 0 to 60 in just 2.8 seconds and was the fastest 4-seater car around the Nürburgring in 2013.
In how many seconds?
2.8.
2.8 seconds.
That's like hypercar fast. Like
Yeah.
Ferrari LaFerrari. That's how fast that goes to 60. Or McLaren P1. That's in the realms of those cars. But it's got 4 seats.
What's the next clue?
You'd like the next clue? Okay.
Yeah.
It's
What's the ages of the car again?
2013 it came out in.
Oh,
I think. It uses a twin-turbo V6 engine and bears the nickname Godzilla.
A Nissan GTR.
I made that too easy by putting that in.
Nismo GTR.
It's just a Nissan GTR, an R35 GTR.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, it's an Alpha. Is it an Alpha? Hang on. Yeah, it is. Oh wow, that's sick. Mental. I don't know what Alpha it is. We got a car spot.
It's
Ladies and gentlemen, that was an Alfa Romeo Spider of some sort, I think.
Yeah, it sounded very nice.
Very nice car. The third clue was the real life.
I would have got
You
that.
would have got that.
I mean, I didn't think of it from the first question.
The first question is, as usual,
helps.
was quite hard.
I think we're done there.
R35 GTR.
Very
Very well guessed.
supercar killer.
Now, do you have anything else to talk about?
No, I think we should wrap this up. We've
we
been
should.
going long. We've got enough as we needed. It's been good. This spot is very good as well. We've seen a lot of cool cars.
It's
It
very
helps
good,
that it's
but-
been like good weather.
Good
But
weather.
we're not quick enough with looking at cars.
It's also really, like, we're both ADHD riddled, so this has been quite difficult to stay on track.
Yeah.
Whilst there's been loud cars and overtakes happening.
Yeah.
But we've got through it. We've managed it, so I think this is as good as a time as ever to
Yeah.
wrap this up here. So thank you very much for watching. If you've got a question
Let us
or
know.
you've got a car that you'd like us to review, as usual, please comment on this video. Give us a DM. The DMs are open.
Yep.
Or you can email
I don't know. Just don't bother asking. me.
CrossedThreads@hotmail.com. Hit it up. Give us an email. Even if you just want to say hi, we'll give you a shout out in the podcast.
Yeah.
And something that you don't know yet, actually, that I've been planning behind
We'll
your
set up a
back.
Patreon.
Not quite. We might do, though. Next episode, we're going to have a special guest.
Already.
We are. Episode number 4, we are going to have a special guest that some of you may know. So stick around for that.
Oh,
Make
what's
sure you
this?
subscribe.
You got another car?
Oh, it's a Lotus. It's an Exige, I think. I could be very wrong. It's a Lotus.
Oh.
Wow. That's very cool. Motorbike as well.
Nice.
Anyway, we need to wrap this
Yeah.
up. But episode 4, very special guest. You know who he is. You
Do
guys
I?
will know who he is. Stick around for that. Turn your post notifications on. Thank you very much for watching.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.